It's that time of year, baseball just around the corner. This is going to be our second baseman tiers and rankings show. But before we get into it, March Madness, we're going to have it on the site this year. It's going to be a good time. So go ahead and get in there and get signed up. Brent, kick off tier 1.
Yankees fans rejoice. Your boys number 1, Cano. Almost 30 home runs last year, over 100 runs, over 100 RBIs. You know, clear-cut number 1 because everyone else has a lot of question marks. And the next 3 guys all had an injury last year, and that's Utley number 2, Pedroia at 3, and Kinsler at 4. You know, like I said, all these guys are a little bit banged up last year, but they're all on great offenses. If they stay healthy, they can really fill up the stat sheet, giving you bags, RBIs, runs, and almost back close to 300. Rounding out the first tier, number 5 is going to be Dan Uggla. He's now with the Braves. You know, last year he was a beast. He batted .287, 33 home runs. The reason he's not higher on this list, like a number 2 spot, is because he raised his average 40 points from the season ago. Don't know if he's going to bat .287 again, so he's a little bit of a risk too.
Tier 2 for the second baseman offers a lot of talent and upside that you can get in the mid to later rounds. And we start with Brandon Phillips. You know, this guy can fill it up across the board, get you some power, get you some speed. Just a great overall second baseman. Not going to blow you out of the water in any category though. Next, Brian Roberts. The guy can't stay healthy, but if he can finally have a healthy year, he could still put up numbers. I still think he's got something left in the tank. Next, Kelly Johnson. 26 home runs last year, throws in a few stolen bases. He can bat for average. Decent second baseman. Next, Ricky Weeks. You know, I've never really liked Weeks that much because he doesn't really bat for average, but he found his power stroke last year. 29 home runs, threw in double-digit stolen bases. Not too shabby. And the last guy in this tier, Howie Kendrick. You know, this guy has a lot of upside and has the potential of being kind of Brandon Phillips type guy. Get you a little bit of everything, including the speed and power.
Tier 3 starts out with Figgins. I mean, 42 bags last year. You know what you're getting if you're drafting this guy. It's all about speed. Next, at number 12, oh my God, we have Gordon Beckham. Love this guy coming into the year. I drafted him on all my teams. He was garbage, so I dropped him. Then he lived up to the hype, and then he, you know, slumped after that. But again, he's a youngster. We really like his upside again this year. Next on the list, we have Aaron Hill. He had 108 hits, and 26 of those were home runs a season ago, while batting 200. He was a roller coaster for any of his owners, but you got to remember what he did the season before that, which was an amazing year. And then rounding out tier 3, we have 2 youngsters we really like. First one's Rodriguez out there with Tampa Bay. You know, he can really fill up the stat sheet. We like his upside, only 26 years old. And next, we have Neil Walker of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Gonna bat for average and give you a little bit of power as well.
Tier 4 starts out with number 16, Nishioka of my Twinkies. They paid a lot of money just to talk to this guy, and they got him signed. He has a lot of potential of batting for average and throwing some speed in there. He's a question mark, but a great gamble in our opinion. Next, another gamble, Eric Young Jr. This guy is lightning quick. If he starts, there's no guarantee about that, by the way, but if he does start, he could lead the league in stolen bases. This guy's crazy fast. Next, Mike Aviles, solid season all the way across the board. Threw in some bags, little bit of power, decent average. Decent guy you can get really late in the draft. Next, Ryan Thoreau. You know, he's 32 years old, but he did have 20 stolen bases last year. No real power here, but decent bags late in the draft. Next, we got Danny Espinosa for the Nationals. This guy's going to be on a lot of people's sleeper lists. He had 6 home runs and about 100 at bats last year, but we don't see him batting for that great of an average, but he does have an upside that you can get really late. And the last guy we're going to talk about is Omar Infante. You know, he's 30 years old, so we're not seeing a ton of upside here, but he did have a great batting average last year. Could be a nice utility guy that you could get late. And that'll be it for the second baseman. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we got March Madness on the site, so get on there. Get into those forums, start posting your teams. Can't wait to start talking some baseball. It means warm weather too. I love everything about it. This is Brent, I'm Dustin. We'll see you next time.